The start of the 2026-27 season is on the horizon, and we the fans are obviously waiting with bated breath for the action to finally resume. And well, there are a few players for whom the anticipation is just as high for one reason or another. It is those guys we are here to talk about in this video today. These are 8 players who just cannot wait for the new season to start. We'll start with Mykhailo Mudryk. Having now been given the all-clear to return to football after being away since 2024,
Chelsea's Mykhailo Mudryk is clear to return to football.
Mudryk surely cannot wait to be back on a football pitch and finally play a professional football match for the first time in almost 2 full years. The Ukrainian star tested positive for doping back in 2024 and was effectively banned from football instantly. At the time, reports said that he could be out for up to 4 years, so it felt like he had been banished to the wilderness. His number 10 shirt at Chelsea was given to Cole Palmer, and his name was slowly being forgotten. But he has now been cleared to return to football and has even featured in pre-season with Chelsea. His first competitive game back must feel like that first breath of fresh air after having been imprisoned for 2 years. We just know he cannot wait for that day to come, and we're sure that Alexander Isak also cannot wait. He had a terrible debut season at Liverpool, which was made worse by injuries. Now that he finally feels like himself again, we're sure that he's buzzing to get back on a football pitch for his club and show the world what he is really made of. A lot was said about how he wasn't worth the record fee that was paid for him and how Liverpool would have been better off with just Hugo Ekitike up front. But with the French striker expected to be out with injury until the end of the year, Isak will have little to no competition in the centre-forward position for the first half of the season, so he'll be able to show what he can do with little to no pressure. And Isak is not even the only Swede in this video. Do you know who the other guy is? Take a guess in the comments, we'll see if you're right soon. While you're there, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Okay, football fans, this is the deal you don't want to miss. Whether you're hunting for an iconic World Cup jersey or the colours of your favourite club, Goal90 Shop has the perfect pick for you. And right now, everything is a flat 15% off, with free shipping anywhere in the world. So don't wait. Hit the link in the description, head over to Goal90 Shop and grab your favourite jersey today. Back to the video. Let us now talk about Bruno Fernandes. We just know that he is desperate for the new season to start, especially after the horrible outing he had at the World Cup. He was one of the biggest underperformers in the Portugal team that generally failed to live up to expectation, and that put him on the receiving end of a lot of abuse. He will be desperate to erase those notions and show the world that he is still a top player. Also, he has been really enjoying his club football since Amorim got sacked. Michael Carrick took over and completely changed his life. Thanks to the new gaffer, he had the freedom to play his game, and he went on to break the record for most assists in a single Premier League season and also win the Premier League Player of the Season award. Looking at how last season ended, we're sure that the United captain cannot wait to have a full season under Michael Carrick. Also, with Man United now back in the Champions League, he's definitely desperate to show that he can not only do it in the Premier League, but can also do it on the biggest stage of club football. And speaking of Portuguese superstars, we just know that Cristiano Ronaldo also cannot wait for the 2026-27 season to start. He did not have the best World Cup either, and he'll now be hoping that the new season can come quickly so he can put those memories behind him. Also, this could be a really special campaign for him. It could be the season where he hits 1,000 official goals as a professional footballer, and we just know that he is looking forward to that so much, and as such, he just wants the new campaign to start already so he can get to do something that has never been done in football before. On top of that, having finally won the league last season, he has now gotten rid of the pressure to win a major trophy for Al Nassr, so he can now go into the season more relaxed and just enjoy his game chasing his record. This could really be one of his best seasons in a long time. Now, remember we said that there is another Swede in this video? It is Dejan Kulusevski. The Spurs midfielder has now been out of action for more than 1 year, having last played an official game in May 2025. He sat out the entire 2025-26 season because of injury, and he also missed out on Sweden's first World Cup outing in 8 years. He was surely very unhappy about how everything went for him in the last year, and he's now just desperate to get back on the football pitch and return to doing what he loves best. Kulusevski is now back in training, and even though he's not expected to be thrown right into the deep end from the beginning of the season, he will surely be waiting for the season to start and for the action to finally begin. But as for Karim Adeyemi, he cannot wait for a completely different reason. It has been a hot and cold summer for the former Dortmund man. On one hand, he was left out of Germany's World Cup squad, but on the other hand, he got a big move to his dream club Barcelona. But interestingly, those two things combined to increase his anticipation for the beginning of the new season. He's surely excited to play his first official game for his dream club, and at the same time, he can't wait to prove to Nagelsmann that he was wrong to not have included him in the squad for the World Cup. We're also quite sure that Federico Chiesa cannot wait for the new season to begin. Arne Slot obviously did not fancy the Italian attacker too much and used him only sparingly while he was Liverpool boss, but now that he's gone, Chiesa probably feels like he can finally get more opportunities to really prove himself under a new manager. Also, he is one of those players who is not yet guaranteed a place at the club beyond this summer. So, he's probably thinking, the earlier the season starts, the quicker he can prove to the coach and the fans that he truly deserves to stay and be properly integrated into the first team dynamics. Finally, we just know that Vini is waiting so impatiently for the season to start. First of all, he was the subject of a lot of transfer rumours this summer, with some reports linking him with a move to Arsenal. Having now committed his future to the club, he will be eager to get back on the pitch and remind the fans and the rest of the world that this is still his club and he is fully committed to its success. Also, the man has a whole new face, and it's certain to become one of the major topics of discussion once the season officially resumes. He has had a massive glow-up since we saw him at the World Cup, so we're sure that he's desperate for the season to begin so the whole world can see and admire his new look. Now, here's an honourable mention: Arsenal. The entire Arsenal team surely cannot wait for the new season to resume. This set of players came so close to the title on multiple occasions in the past, but ultimately fell short and were seriously mocked for it. Now that they have finally crossed that hurdle, we just know that they cannot wait for the season to start, so they can walk into it with some swagger. The weight is now finally off their shoulders. The media will be referring to them as defending champions, the fans will now be able to banter rivals with confidence, and they will finally be able to get the respect they feel they have deserved for years now. We just know that the players, the coach and the fans want the start of the new season to come right now. Anyway, it is now time to hear from you guys. Are there more players who just cannot wait for the new season to begin? Drop their names in the comments and tell us your reason for that. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.
Hey fam, this is your chance to build the jersey collection you've been waiting for. The Goal 90 bundle deal is live. Buy 2 jerseys and get 10% off. Buy 3 and get 15% off. Buy 4 and get a massive 25% off. Club kits, country kits, retro classics, pick your favourites and save big. And yes, every order comes with free worldwide shipping. Goal 90 bundle deal. Buy more, save more. Shop now at Goal 90 Shop.